can draw this on your phone with just your finger during this easy tutorial. I will be guiding you through the step of creating this morning sun shines into the woods. We'll start by drawing lines and simple shape for the background, and then we'll be using our custom brush to design our main characters and the background. You can get them on my website. We have the trial and paid brushes for you. You can get them on sliceowhit.com. So at the end of this, I'm sure you'll feel proud, and please share your result with me by tagging me on Instagram or TikTok. If you'd like to support me into creating these few tutorials, please share, subscribe and like this video. Let's get started. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Drawing Strangers tutorial. So firstly, we'll be creating our canvas. You can create them based on your own wallpaper sizes. Tap New Art and you can customize your own size. A new layer, and then we'll select a background color. Let's go with a light blue or whichever color you prefer to start on. You can pinch to zoom out the canvas in order to get a better hold of the entire picture. Let's go with a light pink for the ground. Select pastel textured brush. Brush size is 80, 100% opacity. Do a left and right swish motion to start drawing with the ground. Then we're going to be drawing a similar color, but it's a little bit slightly purple. And we're going to be coloring the ground with different colors just to give that visual interest to it. Lowering the brushes to get a thinner, a little bit more detail at the side. Next, we're going to select an even darker blue and we'll go around the edges where you have just painted. So this sort of gives the illusion of it being a shadow. Next, we'll create a new layer and we're going to choose our brush. And we're going to be selecting a pink color. Then we're going to do big strokes. This will become our 3 trunks. And then we're going to add more trunks at the back. So the further back it goes, it will be a little bit darker. Press and hold and move your layer down. So you can change your color to a darker pink. And we're going to make a big stroke down. You can select a darker pink for each of the trunk to give that illusion of darkness. There's no perfect way to illustrate this, but you can just try out different ways. And we'll try to create more trunks at the back of what we have already created. Now we're going to move the layer down again. So we're going to do this 3 to 4 more times. So this kind of creates the illusion of being very dense. You can always double tap to undo. For example, at the back, I'm doing different strokes left and right like a W sign, because this is how the branches are usually grows in that direction. So you can use that to create visual interest. Next, I'm going to select a lighter blue. I'm going to change the brush. Now this time we're going to create small little foliage at the bottom of the tree. You can do a tap to create small brushes. And then we're gonna change the color a little, and then we can continue to tap at the sides. This part is completely random, so you can do as you feel. My only tip is to play with to be able to get that shadow-like shape. And I suggest for you to start with the lighter color and slowly work your way down to a darker color. Next, we're gonna create a new layer, move it down. We're gonna create more trees at the back. So I'm using another shade of blue, a little bit more teal. Next, we're going to create a new layer. You can pick colors from the colors you already have been using and use it. So this will be hiding behind the branches. Next, create a new layer. We will be drawing the foreground of the forest. Increase your brush size and we're just going to dab around it. Next, let's change the blending mode and lower the opacity of the blend mode. Let's create a new layer and use 2 fingers to zoom in. Now we'll be working on the calm lake that is there. So let's select our main brush and lower it down we'll be doing zigzag motion. We can draw it like a Z on different areas of the leg. So this is to show the reflection of the legs. Then we're gonna create a new layer and let's draw the moon. I'm using a yellow color to symbolize how the moon fell into the water. Then we're gonna create a glow effect. So let's create a new layer and select the shiny liner. And we just go around the edge of the moon. The great thing about this custom brush is that it creates the effect almost immediately. Now we're gonna add the main character. If you have purchased our paid brushes, there are a couple of stem brushes that you can choose from. Lower my brush size so that I can get a small little cat. So you can choose any animal that you want. Next, let's create a new layer. We're gonna work on the shadows. I'm using the pastel brush. Roughly dab on the bottom parts of the bushes and certain parts of the tree trunks. So I'm keeping things simple. I'm just gonna draw one line for shadow on every left side of the trunk. Then let's change the blending mode and lower the opacity. We're gonna create a new layer and we'll be working on our highlight. Over here, I'm drawing a right angle triangle and I'm gonna fill it up. You can use the eraser tool as well to erase parts that is not sharp. Usually, I like to pinch down my canvas and move it to the top right hand corner so that I can see while I'm selecting my blending mode. There are many different blending modes to choose from, so if you are down for experimenting, you can just play around with all the different blend modes. Next, I'm gonna create a bigger contrast by creating a new layer and painting it blue. So whichever the light starts to hit, I'm gonna paint it blue. And on the bottom left hand corner, I'm gonna add a triangle. So I want it to kind of frame our main character. I'm gonna use the eraser tool to erase bits and pieces that should not be lighted. See that I'm erasing parts of the bushes because if the light hits down and the bush is in the back, it will not be getting any lighting on it. Next, I'm creating a new layer and I'm gonna draw this sun rays glow. So this is just another extra layer to emphasize on the edges of the sunlight. Next, let's add some texture. I'm creating a new layer and using the brush Starry Night, and I'm gonna use different sizes and sprinkle around my artwork and change the color blend mode. The next layer, we'll be using a dark blue color and my favorite dotted green brush. I'm just gonna paint over the entire canvas and change it to overlay. Lastly, let's go back with our shining pen liner and using the color yellow, let's emphasize the shiny parts of the light. I'm gonna add a little bit on the cat as well and change the blending mode. So now I'm creating a new layer and I'm using the main brush to draw the texture of the tree trunks. So you can think of it as like a bracket. So you will do one side of the bracket and then you do the other side of the bracket. And then let's extend the ends of the bracket, or you can do it like a wiggly line down with certain curves to it. The further back the tree trunks, they will have a lesser details. And let's change the blend mode. Lastly, let's save our image and we can set it as our wallpaper. Yay! Good job! I'm very proud of you. I hope you guys had fun too. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give a comment and subscribe. Let me know what I can do better because I really want to help you guys. Many of you guys are actually beginners or people who wants to reignite their passion for drawing. And of course, you know, you need a lot of materials like iPad, Procreate, you need your Apple Pencil. But for this tutorial, all you need is just your phone. And I hope this helps to remove the entry barrier and you guys can just focus on enjoying how creating art brings you inner peace and calms you down. So I'll be trying my best to release more tutorials. You guys can support me on sliceowhit.com. You can get my artwork or get the brushes. All in all, I appreciate. Oh, please share with me your artwork so that I can repost it and even show off you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.